on the way to the West Palm Beach Amtrak station, which is also this year 100 years old. It was originally the Seabourn Airline Railroad station, and that was kind of the anchor for its South Florida service, and it competed with FEC, Florida East Coast Railroad, that was built by Henry Flagler. Interesting enough, that East Coast Railroad is only the East Coast Railroad is also there today. Brightline uses those tracks, and the tracks for FEC and the Amtrak tracks that use the Seaboard Amtrak station are only a half a mile away. But already I got off on a tangent. If you create content and put it on YouTube, eventually in YouTube feed you'll get these content creators that teach how to create content, right? So there's a lot of people on YouTube, men and women, telling people how to make YouTube videos, right? Which is fine. Some of it's good advice, some of it I pay no attention to. One of the things that I've been hearing a lot lately is to be authentic and tell your story, and definitely do not worry about being polished or unpolished or the way you look or whatever. So I'm going to tell a little bit about my YouTube / Amtrak train journey, so to speak. So right now I'm on the Beeline Highway, which the neighborhood I live in is off the Beeline Highway. And the Beeline Highway is the Amtrak trains run parallel to it. It's the CSX tracks. Amtrak runs parallel to it. So the tracks are like a half a mile away from my house. So, I'd see CSX trains go by and Amtrak trains go by when I moved there, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. I like the train, but I never bothered video them or whatever. The history of kind of why I like watching trains go by goes all the way back to when where I lived in Queens, New York, which was Woodside. We lived in a apartment complex called Boulevard Gardens in Woodside, Queens, which is just east of the Sunnyside rail station. Anyway, the trains that go, a lot of the trains that go up north, like to Connecticut and Boston, that leave Penn Station, go under the East River, they go through the Sunnyside Yard, then they go through Woodside and they turn to the north. After they turn to the north to go through Woodside, they go over the Hell's Gate bridge over Randall's Island. It's called the Hell's Gate track or whatever. So that apartment complex that I lived in was the eastern border of it was on 57th Street, and those trains that make the north turn run on tracks that are parallel to 57th Street. That apartment complex had a playground that was backed up to 57th Street. So from the time I was 5 years old to 8 years old, I spent a lot of time in that playground, on the swings, on the monkey bars, whatever, with those trains going back and forth. They were elevated above 57th Street. It's elevated, and so I could always see those trains going back and forth from the playground. And I always thought that was pretty cool when I was younger. So this kind of catching the trains now and video them as they go by my house is, I think that's the the root of it. That's why I kind of like to watch them anyway. So that's kind of the story of why I do the trains. They're close to my house. I liked doing it. I liked watching it as a child. And actually, when I put up a couple of the videos and they got, a lot of views, I was surprised that so many people were interested in trains. So sometimes I do a lot, sometimes I do a little. The last 3 or 4 months I've done a lot, and the channel with the trains is this far away from being monetized, which was not my purpose when I started videoing the trains. It was just something I did kind of for kicks. That channel has also had quite a bit of other stuff, but besides trains on it, it has videos of the ducks that we keep in the yard, and it had a lot of underwater video too. What I've since done is taken most of the underwater stuff off of it, and a few of the duck videos are still there, but it's almost all like Amtrak now, or like 90% Amtrak. Occasionally I put a bright line train on there, or a freight train. But the way I do the freight trains, the Amtrak, anybody who's watched this will see the Amtrak goes by at 79 miles an hour. It takes like, the actual time the train passes me takes 20 seconds. Well, the CSX freight trains are there as well, and I can go over there and film them, but some of those trains are they're 2 miles long, and like after the engines come by, then it's just like 2 miles of boxcars going by. And I have put those on the channel, but they don't seem to be they don't get a lot of views. People don't seem very interested in them, so I'm not going to put a bunch of stuff on that people don't really like to watch. So the other thing, these YouTube creators that tell you how to create YouTubes on YouTube videos is they tell you that near the end of the video you should do a call to action. So you should tell your story and do whatever, and then give the viewer like something to do, the call to action, right? And the way those guys do it is they set you up with this video that they're going to give you some information that's going to help you, and they give you some of that information but not all of it, and they say if you want more of the information, watch this next video. Well, all I'm going to say is, like, I have these train videos. They're there. If you like trains, watch my train videos. I'm kind of the way I've done it is I've always just put very simple clips on. I don't do a lot of editing. I mean, I might trim a video or whatever, but I don't put B-rolls on it. I don't do a lot of talking and face like I am right now. It's just mostly clips of trains going by. So if you like that, watch my videos.